Dude. What's up, everybody? This is SOS Rampage is back at you with some more wrestling predictions for WrestleMania weekend / wrestling reviews, all that good stuff, you know.
Reviews, results, and reactions.
For us. Huh?
Reviews, results, and reactions, and all the other stuff in between.
All the other stuff in between. It's been a little bit for us. Like I said, I already put myself out there. SOS Rampage is over here on Twitch and on YouTube, all that good stuff. You all see at the bottom that way, as well as we got this guy over that way.
I am SOS Farm on Twitch, and I am Farm27 on YouTube.
And like I said, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, like I said, either on the live version or after the fact on YouTube. But yeah, it's been a little bit because we got a lot of kind of waiting for, the bigger wrestling topics to come up as far as, WrestleMania and as well as personal. As people know, life happens, and, we here now, back. Hi, look at us. It's been a little bit. Anything you want to touch on real quick over there?
Why is there so much wrestling packed in the WrestleMania weekend? Give me some breathing room.
There's no breathing room. We're always supposed to be sweating, always just supposed to be dying and drowning in all of the wrestling this weekend, which is what we will just dive into right away with the wrestling, and we will go into the indie promotions that we are watching so far. So we will be having another video come out probably after day/night one of WrestleMania comes out, because we will also be watching the Joey Janela's Spring Breakthrough and Bloodsport and ID tournament and all that good stuff. We have like one match at the ID tournament that we've watched, and we watched the Defy Wrestling as well as TNA Breakthrough so far, or Unbreakable. That's the one.
Yes.
It's a lot of names, a lot of promotions, a lot of just stuff going on. So, yeah, I'm sure you all feel like us this weekend. Shout out to all y'all in Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend. I don't know how you do from start to finish. One day we want to be one of those people. Energy drinks, coffee, whatever y'all got to do to get through it. Caffeine pills, water.
Just water. Water and green tea.
I don't know how you get through it, but bravo, because like me watching at home, me trying to stream it, I can't keep up.
Well, thank you. I just do my thing, and I mean, it's a natural talent, really. But you're welcome.
Yeah, and it's like, I can just kind of, it already happened. I'm just going to stream it later on and we'll watch it later. Nah, y'all bought tickets to this. Y'all are going to it live. Like, if y'all bought tickets, y'all are going, like, right now. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm going to watch it later. No, you all bought tickets. Like, y'all are going to all these events. Bravo. All the bravos. With that being said, we'll get into it a little bit with our first little bit of action. We'll start in the indie promotion side, and then we'll probably go over to the TNA side, and then go over to WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 predictions after that. That's kind of the progression of things that we're going to tonight, as far as I'm concerned. Unless our co-host has an issue over there, yeah? Yeah?
No, it sounds good.
All right. So we will talk about first the Defy pay-per-view that they had for WrestleMania weekend. They did start off with a trios match with the Bollywood Boys versus Galena, or Bollywood Boys with Galena Dalmal versus C4 and Negro Casas, with Negro Casas getting the roll-up win. I see the face.
I am not a fan of Mr. Casas. Mr. Negro Casas.
Mr. Casas. I mean, you're calling him Mr. Casas for a reason.
Yes, he's not black. I guess he was wearing black. Everybody in the match was wearing black, so that's no excuse. He he was 167 years old. He moved like, I don't want to call him a potato, more like a carrot. And I just wasn't impressed. Maybe I should have watched him in 1967 when him and Pedro Morales fought. But I haven't seen anything he's done previously, so I wasn't impressed at all, not one bit. Bollywood Boys were good though.
They always pop a crowd, you know. You can't get mad when the Bollywood Boys come out. You know, they do the thing. They dance in the middle of the ring. Yeah. They're good workers, you know. Yeah. You can't get mad at that. They pop a crowd.
Yeah, and one had the Bret Hart jacket when he came out, and the other one had the Shawn Michaels shirt when he came out. I see what they were doing.
Yeah, and then the Galeno, the doctor, the bad doctor seemed like he was
doctor.
Yeah, he came out to crack a bottle. You know, that's a good time. You can't get mad at that either.
I did not expect to hear Eminem's voice for an entrance, but that was a nice change.
It's a good time. It's a good time. And C4 seemed fine. You know, they seemed like a good tag team. You know, there was nothing bad here. Once again,
there was something bad here. There was one thing.
Us as well as the viewers some sort of background. Defy is a Seattle, Washington-based promotion, so like I don't see much of them. I've heard a lot of them, and I've seen them here and there on like the YouTube side of things and stuff like that. So if you want to check them out, that is, you know, where they be at. Within that next trios match, you had some comments and some concerns about some of the things in this one. We had Liza Hall, Nicole Matthews, Rio versus Vert Vixen, Viva Van, and Amira.
Mm-hmm.
Amira
was over.
Amira was very over. A lot of power. I mean, that's what they put over very early, but she showcased it, and she's got, you know, small frame, a lot of power, fun time. You know, can't get mad at that. You had a lot of issues with Nicole Matthews.
She just seemed like she had the night off, and she was like, "All right, I'll swing by and join this match."
I remember specifically her not having a nickname. Really,
like everyone came to the match, and they were all like, the Fighting Princess or the Stone Warrior, and then it was just Nicole Matthews. And I'm just like, oh, and Default's here too.
The team of Vert, Vixen, Viva Van, and Amira won. I remember specifically the move being like, oh, I never want to take that. It was like a electric chair driver into the back where she just kind of threw her behind. It was just like, look at that.
It looked like the ending looked like a German suplex.
Yeah, and it was just like, I'm gonna throw her behind me, and you got it. You figure it out from here.
No
thanks.
No, I'm good on that.
Next we had the special attraction matchup of Evil from New Japan versus Michael Oko. I believe I'm saying that name right. I'm not 100% sure. I remember he was the crab. And then there was no half crab. I remember you were not very happy about the fact that
I was a little upset that he didn't even get a chance to attempt it. Evil
just one time, just for Lance Storm's sake, one time.
Evil stood by his name, and he did the most evil thing to me by not even letting me see one piece of a half crab in that match. I was waiting for it. I'm still a little upset about it.
If you can't tell, Evil won.
Yeah. I hope someone does a half crab this weekend. I don't care if it's on one of these indie shows or if it's at WrestleMania. Someone, please, just do it for me.
Just for Lance Storm and for Farm.
Does Chelsea have a match this weekend? I know you're listening, Chelsea. Telepathically. Don't shake your head. You know Matt's listening telepathically.
Doesn't have a match. No match.
Well, maybe she can replace Rey Mysterio and fight El Grande Americano.
Evil won, by the way. I don't know if we put that out there. It was a good match.
It was cool. No half crab though. Not even a shrimp.
No half crab, but good match. Yeah. Evil one with an STO. Good, yeah.
What kind of seafood is that?
We have the tag team championship match up next with Kid Lycos and Kid Lycos 2.
Yeah. Kid Lycos is the one without the
and
mask, and Kid Lycos 2 is the one with the mask.
yes, we found that out.
Yeah.
And then we had Hayo and Susumo. One looked like a cheetah. I remember that specifically.
Oh yeah, the guy
Had a
who
tail.
did his tip walk for the match.
It is tip walk.
Homeboy walked around the crowd and collected at least $14 in ones.
More than that. I know he had more than that in there.
Right around the groin areas, where they were slipping them. It was a very male-heavy crowd, so I don't know what that says about Seattle or
Vegas. I mean, that's what they do over there.
Or their love for cheetahs.
Either way, it was a good time. It was a very good time.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then it was also Sinner and Saint. They were the tag team champions, and they walked away with the belts. It was a good time had by all. It was a good work match.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about Mr. Tipwalk and the Villanos?
I want to know more about the mask, no mask. We have the same name thing. Like, did one of you
Lycos, yeah.
Or like, I just don't understand. I want to know more about the maskless thing. Do you switch up?
Okay.
Like, do you be number 2 tomorrow night and then I'll wear the mask because they won't know the difference?
We will make sure to watch the next Defy Wrestling show to see if we can
find
the difference. Make sure we can find the difference for you guys. You led into this. You did this. Speaking of you did this.
Did I do?
The first time we're going to hear this name, but not the last time we'll hear this name, Mance Warner versus Kenta. This is the Mance Warner match you like, though.
And this was my introduction to him.
Yes, it was a good time. Hard hitting, smacking each other, hitting each other.
Kenta always puts on a good show, so I was down for the match.
Not mad at it. Kenta won with his, usual go to sleep.
He stole CM Punk's move. He should have beat him with a half crab. All right. It's not CM Punk's move.
He took it first. Yeah, no, it's
He's
fine.
just the one that does it at WrestleMania.
That was evil.
Yeah, that's what you get, evil.
Anything else to say about this match? They went on the ramp and slapped each other like with the spotlight on, like real hard. Just pow, sat on chairs and
just your regular match.
They did like randomly have weapons just all over the place, like chairs being drop kicked into people's faces. They were like, "Oh yeah, lax rules for this match."
No, he was just getting warmed up for his other matches this weekend. He's just decorating the place, if you will.
Moving on, and we will be past this pay-per-view after this. The main event with Clark Connors versus ELP, aka El Phantasmo, versus MLD, aka Man Like Doris. Your first introduction to, I know, Man Like Doris and maybe Clark Connors. I know you've seen the ELP before.
Yes, I've never seen those two, so I went into this one.
The big question: who has the better LED shades?
I don't know. I like the blue ones more.
Do you think that Man Like DeReiss' gimmick gets over in WWE?
Yeah, but they tweak it to their liking.
He becomes R-Truth.
No, no,
That's
because R-Truth is their little golden treasure.
Okay.
But they tweak them to be R-Truth like. Maybe like what Max Caster is doing right now. Like somewhat delusional.
See that. Anything else from the main event?
No, I fell asleep halfway through the match because I had to work that night. So I saw the beginning of the match, and sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it'd be like that. Clark Connors won with a spear twice. He speared both of them. He's, one of the top dogs on Bullet Club. So yeah, I mean, good time.
Bullet Club's still chugging along.
Mm-hmm. Dave Finlay is the leader.
Okay.
So, and then the War Dogs are two of the main people, and he is one of the War Dogs. So, yeah.
Cool. I didn't know they were still a Bullet Club. Yes. There's no ammo in that gun anymore.
there's some damn Finlay. Come on.
Nah, Kenny and Finn and AJ, they took all the ammo when they left. They were like, "You guys don't need this." That's why Jay White started using a blade. He's like, "You don't have any weapons?"
Yeah. All right, moving on. Since you're talking about AJ Styles, we will talk about TNA Unbreakable as far as
with AJ Styles.
The whole pay-per-view was based, and it was a glorified house show for WrestleMania weekend, but it was all based around the idea of the triple threat match between AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. I mean, one of the all-time classics. None of these triple threat matches came anywhere close to that, but yeah.
Honestly, those three having that match again, they wouldn't come close to that.
True.
So, yeah.
They have Rebellion lined up, which has a lot of fun matches lined up. So, I get it. A week away from their main pay-per-view, save a lot of your good stuff for that. And this was a lot of kind of filler in between. But because it's WrestleMania weekend, they had to have something. Their first international championship kind of does help. The belt does look nice, not bad.
Really nice looking belt.
They started off the show with Eric Young versus JDC versus Zachary Wentz. Which, if you don't know JDC, that is Dirty Dango / Fandango. And then Zachary Wentz is one of the rascals.
One of the radical rascals.
The radical rascals, Dean Malenko's crew over there.
The Iceman.
With, I could have seen Zachary Wentz going over here or JDC, but Eric Young does make sense, who did win the match with the pile driver. Sure. One of the TNA originals. Cool.
Yeah, that's right. EY put him in their place. He's unbreakable.
He is unbreakable. He is, yes. The other triple threat match that they had was Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, and Steve Macklin, which they fooled me. I was 100% in belief in this whole match, especially with the setup and everything, that Ace Austin was going to win this match. Chris Bay was going to come out. It was going to be a whole thing. First ever champion, young talent, Ace Austin. Like, what more could you do? And then I remembered it was TNA. And then they put over Steve Macklin, which, great. awesome, cool. They're behind him. I have no issue with Steve Maclin. It just seemed like the moment to put over Ace Austin in that spot. It just seemed like the right spot. Once again, I'd like to see what Maclin does with it. No issues with Maclin whatsoever. Great worker. Worked a great match.
But how are we going to get your money? Oh, we need Chris Bay to give Ace Austin a motivating speech and get him geared up. And then you need to buy his t-shirt. And then we'll give him the championship. It's in the chase. You want to see him become the champion. And plus, we need your money. Buy his t-shirt. Did I mention that?
We will get there. We have the the trios match of Mike Santana and the Hardys versus Ali and the Nemeths.
The Nemesis. Both of them?
Yes, both of them.
I mean,
Ali. Baby faces win. I don't know what else to say here. Hardys need to stop working. Going back to the Defy match, one thing we skipped over. Rock and Roll Express. Would you like to touch on that real quick? I'm just dropping that on you.
Guys, stop. Look, I saw the match. Y'all are very mobile. Y'all can
still Destroyer for the win.
You stop. You guys are still mobile. You're still spitting good promos. Like, you're still quick with it. Why are y'all 193 years old out here hitting Canadian Destroyers on young talent and not putting them over? You're putting them over. Who would they put? Who's young talent? Yo, if they put over the New Age Outlaws right now, that would be them putting over new talent. Guys.
Mind you.
Come on. What are y'all trying to prove?
Mind you, I'm just putting this out there that we're going to watch later on them in a senior scramble of them with a bunch of different 60-year-old men wrestling. Oh, so yes, I get you.
Look.
Not 193 years old.
Look, what are y'all trying to prove? Look, everything went dark. Did y'all make a pact?
Everything went dark.
Did y'all make a pact back in the day? And you're like, whoever's the last one standing gets all the treasure. It was like, why? Like, Sting just stopped. Flair's still trying to go. If Lawler didn't have health issues, he'd still be working.
Always still trying to go.
Jeff Jarrett's still out here. What are y'all?
It's the Warlord's about to wrestle.
This is my generation. It's time. It's 2025. Some of y'all have been wrestling for 267 years. Rock and roll.
All right. The baby faces went over. Yeah. Not
right off into the sunset.
Drop. Yes, that's facts.
That's basically what I'm trying to say.
They're doing great. They're trying. Rest in peace.
Yeah, 193 years old.
Yeah. Yes, 193 years old, just to make sure. All right. Baby faces win. The Hardys win. They're gonna fight the Nemeth of the pay-per-view, as well as Mike Santana is gonna fight Nick in a, I think, Falls Count Anywhere match. Nah, cool. Whatever. Awesome. Intergender match with Masha Slamovich and Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Apparently with some sort of issue to his shoulder, rotator cuff. So yeah, he's just wrestling with injuries. It's fine.
It's from
versus Frank Kazarian and Tessa Blanchard, the most hated crew of TNA. I mean, boo.
Nah, boo yourself.
She got multiple. She's a racist chance, as They do.
As she should.
And then she got helped out by Victoria Crawford.
The lovely Victoria Crawford.
A dark
doing what's
woman.
Best for business. And making
TNA's
a
great.
diabolical combination.
I love how much they make sense.
That I cannot wait to see more of.
I want to see Victoria cut like the best promos, like all the best promos.
Oh yeah. I mean, if they don't want to hear what Tessa has to say, maybe they'll let Victoria talk.
Cena's gonna shave his head. I kind of want to see Cena go into a hair versus hair match, like at the end of this heel run, and just go with that. He would love that. He would. Like go belt versus hair.
Belt versus hair. I want to take the last thing that you have left, John, and then give him one of those little scruffy things on the top of the head. I want to take.
Or one of the ricochet slaps on the bald head.
Who takes his hair though?
Because are they still that petty in WWE where they're gonna like go at AEW because AEW's got such a thing with Ricochet being bald that they're gonna have someone be bald and fuck with them being bald?
Yes.
I could 100% see it being Cena too.
I could see it being Austin Theory. I could see them making him shave his head so he could be their bald joke.
I can see that. Joe Hendry and the Babyfaces won because, like I said, the show really is show. Just Babyfaces win doesn't really matter.
So you're saying you wish that the heels would have won?
No, just Rebellion's next week, and the real results will happen next week. Let's let everybody go home happy because it's WrestleMania weekend and you've been here all day. And
back to the glorified house show. I got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I skipped over all of the. So they had a football player, for Moose, open challenge. Moose wanted one of the best high flyer out there. It's Sean Merriman. Sean Merriman has the lights out show. Sean Merriman's a good football player. He was fun for the San Diego Chargers. You want to hear how much he played football? He played for Maryland. He's a good dude. But either way, he talked about Moose and he hyped up Moose the entire time, even though Moose is the heel in the situation. But don't worry about that. Sydney Akeem ended up coming out, a.k.a. Reggie from WWE. So, a lot of high-flying spots, a lot of good time. He's worked in GCW and different indie promotions so far, so I don't know if this is like a one-off thing in TNA or if he's going to try to sign something long-term. Either way, good on him. I'm not mad at it. Get a payday. He looked good in the match. He does good high spots. WWE worked him well as far as like they got him to do it where it makes sense. I know, didn't he have like a cheerleading background to start? Gymnastics, cheerleading?
Something like he's super flippy and
I remember he had some sort of background coming into it and they were trying to shape him into like a, what they wanted him to be essentially.
Yeah.
And that never turned out. But,
so they gave up on him.
WWE. That's what they do. I'm Brett now.
Are you?
Apparently. I don't know. I'm Canadian. It's fine.
All
right. Moose won that match because, of course, he did. Because Moose. They had next. I will go over, and this is also play-by-play. Color. Vance Warner versus Sami Callihan.
Did you just call me colored?
Go ahead and give your 2 cents on it, Mr. Cornette. First of all, before he goes into it, respectfully, Sammy, we love you. please just
get healthier.
Get healthy, please. We at least for me, and this is where I'm going to go on my little tangent before you go out. That's what I'm saying. This kind of idea. When I saw you as Solomon Crow, and even before, like, NXT and all that good stuff, you had an innovative style. You worked different. And I can attest this, not from my side, but I know from someone that is a little bit shorter. You worked with a different style with a shorter presence that hadn't been seen before. Like, you were aggressive. You didn't have the high flying style, but like your offense was different for a shorter athlete, and it was nice to see. And it's not going to work with with how you are now. And the deathmatch style it's good, but like you need to be able to also do the working 20 minutes kind of idea. And we also just want to see you healthy in general. So that's what I said. If you're doing great, awesome. Like I said, no shout, no issues, no nothing. Just please, 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 look out for yourself. Go ahead over
there. There is a ceiling to this deathmatch style, and then I don't know where you go from there. But this deathmatch, and specifically, was the ceiling. This was the biggest pile of dog shit of a match that I've seen in the last 10 years. Like, I think
what would you say is the biggest equivalent to this on a not indie level, on a WWE, AEW, WCW, ECW level? Like Swerve and Hangman?
No. This was
like Sabu and
Seth Rollins. This was Seth Rollins and The Fiend in Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
This was Make It End. Why? This makes no sense. This is stupid. This is really how we're ending the show. I don't know. I've seen more wrestling maneuvers in a New Jack match, and I've never seen New Jack do a drop kick or a hip toss or a body slam or a suplex.
Hey. To be fair, play-by-play over here. They started off the match with Sami Callihan driving him through with a Death Valley driver through a barbed wire table. It might have split Mance Warner open like Sabu, kind of on the arm, where they had to tape it up eventually because it was Sabu typed.
Mm-hmm. That was beginning.
We had a Nintendo 64 controller taping barbed wire. It was a good time.
That made me feel a weird kind of way. It was like my childhood hurting me. I didn't like that.
In a lot of different ways, and then wrapping the cord around his mouth. It's a good time. We had a ball of barbed wire. First time I've ever seen such a thing. I'm pretty sure with you too, because you had to ask, like, "What is that?"
No, I'd never seen that. Kudos to that new weapon.
Scraping the head, arm, obviously, because the arm's already bleeding, so opening that up worse. And dude, would you like to say the last part that he did with it? Taking like a good old bowling ball and just whoop. Wouldn't be the first 5-on-2 that we saw all night, but it was the most aggressive one probably that we saw.
Yeah. Blood everywhere at this point.
We had Mance choke slam Sami through a table with barbed wire on it that was set up like with chairs and all that good stuff. So
basic Tuesday night for this guy.
Somehow, if I can't remember exactly correctly, Sami got back hold of control and then grabbed the lemon.
The lemon
Was a good time.
You see, if you don't understand, they're both bleeding at this point. So he takes the lemon and he squeezes it over his body and he just starts shaking because of the burning.
It's like, and you can attest to this because like we want to help the people at home that didn't watch this. When he squeezes that lemon, that's a lot of effing lemon juice that comes out. Like it's not like you do a little spritz and it's like that little bit of last little lemon that you get out. He takes a full lemon and just and you see this waterfall of lemon juice that like it's like, oh, if I was making lemonade at home, I wouldn't get that much lemon out.
That was a good lemon right there. And if your mouth isn't salivating yet, just you wait. He's only marinating him right now. He's still going to season him up.
So that was a good time. Specifically, and before he did such a thing, he ripped off the Band-Aid that the ref put on his arm to try to stop said bleeding. Mm-hmm. Because why would you let the ref help stop said bleeding? So we're going to rip that off and then put lemon juice on it.
That'll help it.
And then just to make sure that we have everything in order and everything, then he pulls out the staple gun. Like this is fucking Final Destination over here. I'm sorry for the language, but effing Final Destination over here. Talking about bleeding all over the place. I've seen a lot of things, folks, at this point in my life. I've seen Nick Mondo take a weed whacker to his chest. I've seen Joey Janela get dropped off a roof with Zandig.
Swerve take a syringe.
I've seen Swerve Strickland and Hangman take a needle to the mouth and then smack it out their mouth somehow. I ain't never seen nothing like Sami Callihan stapling. And I've seen this twice, and I can't 100% tell you. And I'm pretty sure you probably looked away. Lip or tongue? Lip? Yes. I would assume lip. It's got to be lip. To have it hang like that?
I guess, yeah.
Like bottom lip, probably?
Yeah, I think your tongue would probably be... You can't just do the tongue because, like, you don't know what you're doing. You got to do the lip because it's just meat.
All right, because that's like attached to your skin and your body.
Yeah.
So, like, man stapled his whole lip to the bottom of a door.
Why are we analyzing it? Just tell them what they did.
That wasn't bad enough. That was not bad enough. Mm-hmm. We sit there, we sell it. Great. Cornette would love that. You know how much Jim would love that? He's selling it, you do a big spot, a big move. He's selling the spot, selling look, you stapled him. Look at him. Holding the staple gun up and I
don't think he was selling. I think he was reacting in real time. That's not selling.
Sammy grabbed a chair. And at this point, I know you don't know, and because I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck's he getting a chair for? Why is he getting a chair? What's he need that for? For what?
Yeah, let me pour some lemon juice in your...
decides to start standing up. Man starts standing up with the door attached to the bottom of his lip with the staple. I'm also throwing this out there because we know, as human adults, there has to be more than one staple in that. There's no way one staple kept that open, kept that held. Like, you probably had to do multiple staples to keep. I mean, I know he's holding with his hand too, but I don't know, man. That's not just one staple right there. That has to be multiple in my mind.
But it's from the staple gun. It's not just a regular staple.
But proceeds to stand up where the staple is holding the door. It's holding it to his lip. And then Sammy swings the chair to smack it off. I gasped both times I saw it. I'll probably gasp every time I see it. I don't even know if I'll ever want to see that match ever again in my life.
Yeah, why are you setting yourself up to see that spot again? Blood.
Yeah, we're done here. And then he took salt and he sprinkled it on everyone because
then he seasoned them with salt, and then he sold for it.
End of the match is Sammy doing the Cactus Driver 97 through so much barbed wire that they were both twisted up like it was the second one night stand with Terry Funk and Cactus and the barbed wire. Sammy wins, I guess.
Yeah, you sound like someone who escaped from a prison that saw a lot of torture. Like there's a lot of trauma on you right now as you're breaking down this match.
I guess. I don't even
Like
know.
you got that war look. Like man.
And then they wanted us to watch an AJ Francis match after this.
Ugh.
I forgot a lot about it. Steve Macklin won. He's the new international champion. I'm proud of y'all in the arena for watching this match and then watching a main event match after that because I just would have gone home. Honestly, especially knowing the lineup being Steve Macklin versus Eric Young versus AJ Francis for a new belt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, before all of this blood and nonsense, they had Chris Bay come out and give the most emotional speech that we've ever seen in wrestling, probably. So that was nice, at least. It made us feel good. And then if you're not inspired after watching that, I don't know who you are and what you are.
And then they took a big dookie on us.
Mm. Yeah, and all of our emotions. It was great.
So that was TNA Unbreakable.
Yeah,
and it sounds like it broke Rampage.
It broke me a little bit. Yeah, but we got it over with.
We survived. I survived Unbreakable 2025.
Yeah. We'll talk about the last good thing, and then we'll go to the prediction side of things. AEW Spring Breakthrough was a good time. Mercedes and Athena kicked it off with the Owen Hart tournament. Probably one of the best women's matches on TV that I've seen in years.
That they had a pay-per-view ending quality match at the beginning of the show for no reason.
And which is great for Athena that does not get showcased on Dynamite very often. They gave her that proper showcase, especially with the match with Mercedes. It was especially the match to literally pass Nitro as the longest running Turner Broadcasting wrestling show. Like that it's a big deal for the women to be able to do that kind of idea.
This is the match I've been waiting for. So far, this is like my favorite women's match for the year.
No, it definitely lived up to all the expectation, as a lot of this card did. Yeah, anything else from that starting match?
Yeah, the wrong person won.
Disagree, but all right. Mercedes went on to the semifinals as she should in the Owen Hart tournament. Or the finals, actually. No, I correct myself. The finals.
Yeah, she's on her way to another trophy.
Where she can face either Chris Statlander or Jamie Hayter in the finals, which, should be fun either way.
Has she fought Jamie yet?
It'll be first time for Hayter and second time for Statlander. So Either way, good time.
It'd be interesting.
No, definitely. They had I'm trying to remember exactly. I don't have it written down, but the order I believe was the tag match next with the Hurt Syndicate versus the Gates of Agony, and Hurt Syndicate.
They hurt
people.
And apparently the Gates of Agony like getting hurt. So MVP was on commentary, saying, this is like a match made in heaven. They like getting hurt. We like hurting people.
And MJF tried to pay them off with Ladies of the Evening.
Hey, those were church going girls, all right?
It almost won Shelton over.
Almost.
Robert Lashley was a little bit more hesitant, but
almost.
Bob is a little bit, he's slower than most, like MJF said.
Whoa.
So he's not understanding.
Whoa, he didn't say any names. Why are
he didn't say any names.
Why are you saying names?
I'd say
I think you should make sure that Mr. Lashley knows you're not talking about him.
I would never.
Yeah, some people, but not anybody in specific.
But we still have a thumbs down from everybody in the Hurt Syndicate. So it's a nice build up.
And Shelton also took MJF's watch, but MJF was like, you know what, Shelton, I like you. You can have the watch anyway.
Where do you feel like this goes right now?
He joins, but I don't know what he's gonna have to do to. He's gonna have to do something to prove himself to Bobby, because Shelton's just waiting for Bobby to be all right with it. But until Bobby gives him the eye that he's cool, Shelton's like, nah.
Okay. And you saying that I have a theory that I think he's gonna go double or nothing. And he's gonna be like, you hurt people, you want violence. I win, I get in the Hurt Syndicate with Bobby.
So he's gonna have to fight his way in.
Yes, fight his way in with Bobby, and then
I could see that.
Shenanigans possibly,
because there's really nothing that he can offer them that they can't get by themselves.
But Bobby's a fighter.
Who
wants to stand up for it. And Bobby's also that cocky of like, you think you can beat me? All right. Nah. If you can beat me, you can get in here. No problem. Go ahead.
He won MVP over when he met him.
And they've just got so many standoffs of like them going face to face. He's been so antagonistic towards him. Like it just seems
he's winning Shelton over with his personality, but he's got to win Bobby over physically to show that he is actually tough enough to be a part of this group.
So like that's where my mind goes initially with it, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, I think you're exactly right, because like the tension in between those two, it's building to something, and you want to see it, but we don't know what it is yet.
Exactly. I think we did skip over it. We had the other Owen Hart tournament matchup, or at least one of the other ones, with Hangman and the wild card, who ended up being Josh Alexander, the Walking Weapon. Good match, hard hitting. I don't know what else you could expect from Josh Alexander and Hangman. It's it's fun to see Josh Alexander. I believe in the right company. I don't see what they would do with. I mean, AEW is the wrestling company at the end of the day. The Walking Weapon is kind of more that Kurt Angle, very wrestling style. I don't see the gimmick they would give him over in WWE that would be any different than like a Chad Gable. And we've seen what they've done with Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. It just hasn't been fantastic. So
yeah.
I think definitely sticking him heel off of the loss and having him join the Don Callis family is a huge.
He's Canadian, right?
He is Canadian.
They probably would have just tried to turn him into like the Canadian Kurt Angle.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think having him, especially since he's been heel on the end of his TNA run, having him join the Don Callis family and really line up with him.
Yeah.
Because he isn't the strongest promo, but he is a good wrestler. But having Callis kind of help him with that and teach him under his wing.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I started liking the group a little bit more.
No, it's so crazy how like they had Mark Davis and Brian Cage get hurt, but now they have now joining with Rocky Romero as well on Collision. So now it's Rocky, Trent Beretta, who came back, as well as Josh Alexander. It's almost like this is a better unit in my mind than Mark Davis and Brian Cage. Like it just makes more sense with what they got, but we shall see how it kind of pans out. And they have the big names in there, as we're about to talk about in the next match, where we had Will Ospreay and Takeshita have their second match, which, I mean, 1A and 1B, two of the best in the world right now as far as work rate. You can't ask for any more. I mean, they're going to give you the highest quality matches on the card no matter what. So, I mean, what else you have to say about this?
I agree.
I mean, Ospreay went over. Yeah, I mean, they definitely go back and watch it. If there's anything on the card besides the Athena and Mercedes match, this is the match to watch by far. I mean, especially honestly of the whole weekend so far, this is the match that I'd be like, go watch this. This is the one.
I'm still sticking with Mercedes.
I feel that. And then we had ending the night the Ops adding in Will Hobbs against the Death Riders, adding in Moxley because of Pac's injury. I mean, putting Joe over strong with Powerhouse. It was a good match. I mean, not much more to say besides they're really just trying to really push Joe.
I like the ending when Joe had the belts and Hobbs was in the corner, and then Joe walked over to him and then placed the belt on his shoulder, like, "Nah, man, you're a champion too. Like you're not just a fill-in. Like you won this match with us." And then he joined them in the center with their hands up, and everybody came out and celebrated like Luger Survivor Series.
It was a nice ending, and it was the biggest show that they had done so far, so it was fun. Anything else to add in before we do Mania predictions and such?
No, it was a good show. Business as usual. Makes me interested to see what they're gonna do next week. So they're doing some good things over there.
All right, let's get in our Mania predictions over here so we can do our go home.
All right. So WrestleMania Night 1. According to this, I'm just going to go from the bottom to the top. We've got Jade Cargill versus Naomi. My prediction for this match is Naomi.
Okay. I could see that definitely happening. I mean, I think Jade, they're setting up for her to have some sort of run. I think this is the match where Jade goes over. I don't know how much farther after this, and I don't know how much good of the match it's going to be because Naomi can kind of. Her style is a little bit more, not reckless, but it's not necessarily got that technical style of it. So, like, we'll see how it kind of goes.
It's
but yeah,
it's like a Uso.
A little bit. So it's like we shall see how well that goes. But I could see Jade still going over, but having issues.
Naomi's a former women's champion. She's former knockouts champion. I think this storyline is showing that Jade bit off more than she could chew right now, and it's going to be a good match. But at the end, Naomi is still better than her at doing this.
Getcha. Next.
Next, we have To Be Determined versus El Grande Americano, because apparently Rey Mysterio may have an injury.
If Ray has an injury, this is Ray Phoenix. I mean, Ray for Ray.
No, it's going to be Randy Orton. 2 birds, 1 stone.
It's going to be El Grande versus Chad Gable. The payoff right now.
They should have Ray wrestle as Oscar.
I'm already done with this. Move on.
We have the United States Championship. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu.
I mean, Jacob Fatu right now seems like that LA Knight's kind of been passed over at this point. A lot of other stars that have kind of taken the limelight, taken the. Honestly, I don't, and it's nothing against him. It seems like Jey Uso's Yeet movement is kind of taking the movement a little bit, and all the steam that had. Because it seems like almost when Yeet got over, stopped kind of being the thing. So I think, everybody loves Jacob Fatu, heel or not. The way he works, the way he talks, like it's that kind of idea of like he's got that Umaga presence of like you can't. That's you back him.
Yeah, he's scary for real.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
I think LA Knight's going to win.
Okay.
Because of the reasons that you said, and I think there's a oh man, there's a heel turn brewing in there, and when he unleashes on the Jey Usos and the CM Punks and everyone that came and took his spotlight from him, yeah,
Yeah, Jimmy.
he's gonna he's gonna light some people on fire. But I think Solo is going to bamboozle this up accidentally,
Okay.
and I don't know what's there's probably gonna be an ass whooping coming to him after that, but you know that's the storyline right there.
I get you.
Next we have the World Tag Team Championships, the War Raiders and the New Day.
Um, I want to, and I hope New Day goes over. I think that they've kind of fumbled the New Day heel turn at this point. Besides them trying to keep it alive as much as possible, but I don't think they really have anything for it. So, like, even if they do win after Mania, I don't think that there's anything set up to progress it any further. I think they would do great if they won the titles and possibly maybe mess around in TNA, kind of calling out some of their people.
Yeah, that
But,
could
like, they need some sort of fresh meat because it's just not in WWE right now. Like, no matter what, the tag team division is not. Unless they go over to SmackDown, maybe with them, they have some new meat with the Street Profits in there.
new meat.
But what do you got?
I think New Day is gonna win also. I'm excited to see what their heel big WrestleMania entrance is gonna be. Like, are they gonna come out as like the bad guys from Star Wars or something now? Like they're not gonna be good guys now, you know.
Right.
But I think whatever they're gonna do at New Day, they're gonna do it after WrestleMania. So I don't know what that is, but they need to do something to make them a big deal, not just because they're the champions and because they're the New Day. Next,
I want a side note for to go on the side because I feel like he'll be behind this too. I want them to, and I just thought of this on the spot. I want them to have a Ralphus type character, and I want them to call it Big Me, and him to be the sloppiest motherfucker that they can find, and him to like help them win the match by like just like the accidentally throwing his like wrapper of Snickers in the ring, and the man and War Raider slip on it, and that causes it, and it would be. And that leading to Big E wanting to come back, and I get it.
They could always have him snacking on whatever their sponsor is, whether it's a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch or a Snickers. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a big fan of Prime, also. You know, our boy loves Prime. We have the WWE Women's Championship: Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I had to look up. I forgot who she was fighting.
Okay.
My heart is saying Tiffany Stratton, but my brain is telling me, you know, it's Charlotte Mania again, brother. But I'm gonna say Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think it's still Tiffany. I don't see anything for Charlotte to do necessarily. I think she's kind of, especially in the promos and in everything that's gone led up to it, it's kind of shown Tiffany's passed her by a little bit, and it's kind of her time now. It seems like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they got to do something different. They can't just have everybody just keep running into Charlotte at WrestleMania and then she shuts them down. Like she shut down Rhea, she shut down Asuka. Like someone's got to shut her down first attempt once. And she'll be the chosen one. She'll be the chosen one. Next we have the World Heavyweight Championship: Gunther versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Finish
Done
was, yeah.
Yeet.
Yeet. And the main event, triple threat match. I was about to say Triple H. Triple H presents a triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk with Paul Heyman in his corner. Look, I went with Punk for the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Punk for the Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do they give him what he wants and shuts him up once and for all until he decides that he wants night 2's main event? Or do they pull some shenanigans and keep the storyline going? I'm going to say CM Punk. I'm putting it all on Punk. This is Vegas, baby.
Fair. I'm going to go out on a slight limb. I say Seth. I say Seth wins, especially with what transpired on Raw and the promo he cut on SmackDown. I think we're going to get the first time in a good little bit that we're going to get a heel Paul Heyman. He's going to turn on CM Punk. And we're going to get rid of this, old, please, no, help me. Oh, my God. No. Get that Paul out of here and get that dark light Paul, that scary Paul back out.
Yeah.
It's going to pay into all of this. Punk has gone over Rollins for a year now. A year straight, man has gotten over on him over and over again. And now he has his manager, his wise man originally back. And he feels comfortable and safe. He's going to go into that match feeling safe with his manager.
I see it. I see it.
Mm-hmm. He's done that Mania before. He's closed the Mania before with himself spinning that title.
I
who needs it in that match?
I see Seth standing on the ramp like this at the end, Paul like this next to him, and the whole crowd just going, oh, with a disappointed CM Punk and Roman Reigns in the ring.
The other two just don't need it. The other two don't need it. Roman doesn't need it. Punk doesn't need it. Seth needs it.
I feel you. I'm still going to go with CM Punk, but I definitely see it. Drug Stadium.
The Juggernaut has spoken.
That's his prediction.
All right, night 2.
Night 2. We have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Ew.
First of all, ew. AJ Styles. AJ Styles is going to show Logan that you might be good, but you're not great. You're not phenomenal.
It's going to probably be Logan.
Shut your mouth.
He's going to piss everyone off. He's going to piss every single person off. He's going to win at WrestleMania over my hero and yours, AJ Styles.
You stop saying these words, all right?
Probably with some help. Probably KSI.
Oh, my God. He's got to bring a friend with him.
He always brings a friend with him. Maybe Mr. Beast this time.
Oh, my God. Yo.
Probably Jake, actually, now that I think about it. It's going to be Jake Paul. Or his dad.
It probably would be Mr. Beast because it would take the Beast to beat someone with his Christian values of AJ
in
Styles.
Sin City?
Yeah. The Beast screws over AJ in Sin City.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to move on?
Yeah. Speaking of Sin City, we have a Sin City street fight. I don't want to watch WrestleMania anymore. A Sin City street fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
I mean, it's Damien's match.
But it's Drew's world.
It's Damien's match. Damien wins. Drew can lose and he'd be fine.
Drew loses all the time.
Yeah. And Damien loses all the time and has no sort of heat.
What if they just like fight out of the arena and then the camera just kind of pans back towards the ring and then the night goes on?
So no one wins. Got it.
Yeah. They just and then like the next night on Raw, they just kind of fight back into the building, and then someone can win on Raw. I don't know. Priest can go over on Raw.
All right.
Yeah, that's my prediction. I think they're gonna fight off and just
double count out next.
There's no count outs in a street fight.
Next.
Dominic Mysterio, Penta, Finn Balor, and Braun Breaker in a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship.
Would you like to go first?
Dirty Dom. Yeah, he's going to sneak a win. He'll probably pin Finn. And he'll go out celebrating in Las Vegas with Liv. And he'll piss everybody off, just like Logan Paul. Maybe he'll go partying with Logan Paul and Mr. Beast.
Braun Breaker, because it's Braun Breaker.
Enough said. Next week,
Smash.
Next we have, speaking of Smash, next we have the Women's Tag Team Championships with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
Bailey's good at looking up at the lights. Man. So Liv wins and Bailey takes the pin.
I agree. The Liv Morgan never-ending celebration of life and satisfaction tour continues on.
Yes.
Next, we have the WWE Women's World Championship triple threat match between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Bianca doesn't lose at WrestleMania. Plus, she's the EST.
Go out another limb here. I think Io. I think Triple H wants to prove a point. I think Bianca and Rhea are too invested in each other. I think it drives further the heel side of Bianca because it's almost like taking it away from her. Like, I almost want, like, Bianca to hit the KOD and then Io somehow hit some sort of moonsault into the pin and her hitting, like, pinning Rhea, but, like, knocking Bianca out, but Bianca having the pin set and then her really going heel off on it because she won the Rumble and she shouldn't have had to do a triple threat match to begin with. Why was Rhea even here? I don't understand.
It doesn't even go here.
Doesn't even we need something, especially because she got booed in Vegas already, so people are already leaning into her being a heel, and I think everybody's kind of wanting that, and we see it coming with the Naomi turn of like, there's no way Naomi was just working on her own, right? Like, it seems like y'all haven't settled this yet between you and Jade.
I wasn't even there.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's where I'm going with it, is I think Io's going to pick it up because Rhea and Bianca are going to be too distracted with each other still.
I could see that. Plus, I think Rhea and Bianca is the match for next year, one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a year to run into each other and cross paths.
As well as they get to say they cost each other the title at Mania the year before.
Yeah. This is just building up their video package for next year. And in the main event of night 2 on 4/20, the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus a heel John Cena in his final WrestleMania match.
John Cena.
Damn.
John Cena.
Damn.
John Cena.
Damn. All right.
Cody gets to hit Travis Scott, and even maybe The Rock. But John wins the match in front of 100 bajillion people that they're gonna say on the broadcast when they pull up the screen. That'll be the biggest WrestleMania ever, even though they'll add up day 1 and day 2, and they'll say it's the biggest WrestleMania they've ever had, even though it's kind of horse baloney. And that's they need the biggest moment to break the biggest record of all time, and then you get to set up, like I've been pitching on my Twitch for a while when I've been talking about it. Backlash is in St. Louis. Do you want a heel John Cena to be champion versus a babyface Randy Orton for the first time ever at Backlash for the title? It sells itself. They've never had that role reversal like that. It's always been the other way. And it just sells itself because Randy is that all-time babyface at this point of like, yes, he can do some heel shenanigans, but people still love him. And like I said, there's no other spot to take this record from Rick. Like this is the time, this is the space. Rick has said it's okay. What else do you do with Cody after this? Realistically, I mean, he did the story. He completed it.
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
They break all the records that you just announced, whether Cena or Cody wins. They already got the tickets sold. They already got the banners made. They already got the fireworks prepared. They just need to put the graphic on the screen with whoever holds the belt up at the end. I don't think Cena wins I don't think he breaks the record as a bad guy.
So you don't think through this entire run he doesn't break it?
I think he breaks it with the redemption arc near the end.
So you think, because we're looking at it, the dates down below, it's April 19th and 20th coming to up tomorrow and Sunday. You think that in the span of 8 months that he's going to have a redemption arc and get a title win within that?
Yes.
Okay.
With the John Cena character, it's not right for him to win this way. And then with Cody's character, it's right for him to prove to Cena that he's not doing right.
Okay.
But Cena, so Cody can go on to fight Orton in St. Louis because they want to have that match.
Yeah.
Cena makes his return there. Maybe he screws Cody out of the belt. Maybe takes him out. And then maybe we get Cena versus Orton with Orton being the champion. Then Cena, well, no, because that goes against Cena winning it. But I don't know. Like, you still get Cena versus Orton, but it just takes a different direction to get there. Then we do the redemption. And then Cena finally wins the belt by the end of the year. Probably retires as the champion. Because he said he's going to win the championship and he's going to take it home.
Okay.
I think he's going to do that. I just don't think it's going to be at WrestleMania.
I don't think he's going to take it home at WrestleMania. I think it's just going to be that heel run throughout kind of idea, at least at this point.
Plus, it's so like John Cena, the human, to want to put over somebody in his last WrestleMania match. Like, he's so not selfish and greedy,
I get you.
And plus, it's not like he hasn't lost at WrestleMania before. So it's not like it would be like The Undertaker losing his streak. This is him doing business the way business should be done.
No, it definitely makes sense.
So I don't know. I'm going on a limb, and
You're going on a huge limb on that one, but
yeah.
Do your thing, man.
What can I say? I believe in Cody Rhodes. I believe in Cody.
I have a lot of belief behind, but that wraps it up, correct? I mean, Orton has his open challenge.
I mean, unless the Big Show comes out and has a match after the main event, like that one year.
I mean, like I said, Orton has the open challenge that he's doing.
Yes, the Randy Orton Open Challenge.
Who do you think is going to be the Randy Orton Open Challenge?
Internet rumors aside, I still think Nick Aldis because of the 2 RKOs, and I don't need your money. I need your respect.
I want to lean towards Rusev / someone from NXT, so somebody fun. Ooh, you know, it would also be fun that wants so badly at a WWE return, but you would hate it so much, and has history with Randy Orton. And we can go out on this video with this, and you can start setting up for your stream.
No, who?
Didn't you
say that they need to sit down?
Yeah, but like, remember all that history when we thought he was going to be the WWE champion, like fighting Randy Orton? Like that was a thing.
No, they need to sit down.
I don't know. They
need to sit their ass down. Need to sit their ass down. How's about Nick Aldis? He's young and can still move.
Yeah, I get you. But yeah, we'll cut that video there. Are you about ready to go up over there?
Yeah, I'm about to hit the live button. I just gotta connect my game to the.
But with that being said, I appreciate everybody coming through. If you all are checking out this video before Mania, we will be doing a watch along for WrestleMania on the Twitch channel. You know, you can hear that with us, as well as you can see it in the Discord with us and all that good stuff. You know, if you want to watch along with us and hear the proper reactions and all that good stuff, as well as we will be putting out a second half of things where we will be reviewing how Mania went, as well as the rest of the shows that we will be watching over the weekend. Probably Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Around that time, whenever we get around to it, kind of idea. It's a lot of wrestling content to catch up on and get into. We also have our gaming content as well. I'm dropping a bunch of the WWE Mind Rise content, as well as, you know, my usual 2K content for the My Faction realm of things, as well as my shorts for UFC and different things like that, for the pew-pews, for Fortnite and Call of Duty and all that good stuff. And I will kick it over to the man over here that has been mastering the My Rise element of WWE 2K, as well as the Schedule 1 aspect of things. And I believe that is where he's be going to on his live stream. So please check him out over there. And yeah, kick it on over to you.
Yeah, basically, I did My Rise, and I'm restarting it now, and I'm also playing Schedule 1, and I've got episodes of that out. And, you know, eventually I'm going to weave some Minecraft back in there, but right now, that's
eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, no, I appreciate anybody for
coming. On Farm 27 on YouTube.
Alrighty, and you know, I got the SOS Rampages on both, and yeah, that is how we will go about it, and that is where we'll end things off here. And yeah. And should I kick it on over to you?
I hear something. I can't see my screen.